if you are over 60 and taking vitamin B12 every single day, you may believe you are already doing something great for your brain, your energy, and your nerves. But what if the very thing you are doing to protect yourself is the reason you are not seeing the results you expected? What if your tiredness, brain fog, balance problems, or tingling in your hands and feet are not happening because you need more B12, but because your body is not actually using the B12 you are taking? This is a mistake I see far too often. Seniors are buying expensive supplements, taking them faithfully every morning and believing they are protecting their health. But years later, they still feel exhausted. They still struggle to remember simple things. They still feel unsteady when they walk. And the most frustrating part is that many of them have normal blood tests, so they are told everything looks fine. But there is something those tests often fail to reveal. A normal B12 number does not always mean your nerves are getting the B12 they need. And this is exactly why one of my older patients was shocked when he discovered the truth. He was 68 years old and had been taking vitamin B12 consistently for more than 7 years. He thought he was doing everything right. He never missed a dose. He trusted the brand he was using. His blood work showed that his B12 levels were within the normal range, but something was wrong. His energy was slowly disappearing. His balance was not what it used to be. His memory felt slower, and he began noticing strange sensations in his hands and feet. He kept asking the same question, "Doctor, if I am taking B12 every day, why do I still feel like something is wrong?" The answer surprised him because the problem was not that he needed more B12. The problem was that he was taking it the wrong way. And today, I want to show you the mistakes that many people over 60 make with vitamin B12. These mistakes are so common that millions of seniors may be wasting their efforts without realizing it. I will explain why your body may not be absorbing the B12 you take, why the type of B12 matters, why your timing could affect your results, and what simple changes can help your body actually use this important nutrient. Because after 60, vitamin B12 is not just another supplement. It plays a critical role in maintaining healthy nerves, supporting brain function, helping create healthy red blood cells, and keeping your energy systems working properly. But here is where many people misunderstand the situation. They think taking a vitamin is the same as absorbing a vitamin. It is not. Your body does not benefit from what you swallow. Your body benefits from what it can actually absorb and use. And as we age, this becomes much more important. Many adults over 60 experience changes in digestion that they never notice. One of the biggest changes is a reduction in stomach acid. This may seem unrelated to vitamin B12, but it plays a major role in how your body accesses this nutrient. When you eat foods containing B12, or take certain forms of B12 supplements, your stomach needs to help release and process that vitamin. Without the right environment, some of that B12 may simply pass through your system without being properly used. This is why some seniors can take B12 for years and still experience symptoms that seem confusing. They are taking it, but their body may not be receiving the full benefit. I remember another patient, a woman named Margaret, who came to me at age 71 because she was experiencing burning sensations in her feet and frequent dizziness. She was worried because these symptoms were affecting her confidence. She was afraid of falling. She was afraid that something serious was happening. When her doctor checked her B12 levels, the results appeared normal. The number was not low enough to trigger concern. So she was told everything was fine, but she knew something was not fine. Her body was telling her a different story. And this is an important lesson for everyone watching. Sometimes your symptoms tell a story that a single blood test cannot fully explain. A standard B12 blood test measures the amount of B12 circulating in your blood. But it does not always tell you how much B12 is actually entering your cells and supporting your nerves. That difference matters because your nerves do not need B12 floating around in your bloodstream. They need B12 inside your cells where it can perform its job. This is why some people can have what appears to be an acceptable B12 level while still experiencing symptoms associated with poor B12 function. Now, this brings us to the first major mistake. Many seniors take vitamin B12 in the exact same way they take other vitamins. They swallow a tablet with water, usually in the morning, and assume their body will handle the rest. But vitamin B12 is different. Your body needs specific conditions to absorb and use it properly. One important factor is something called intrinsic factor. This is a protein produced in the stomach that helps your body absorb B12. As we get older, production of intrinsic factor can decrease, making it harder for some people to absorb B12 from traditional swallowed supplements. This means the problem is not always the amount you take. Sometimes the problem is the form you take. That 68-year-old patient I mentioned earlier was taking his B12 every morning. Same routine, same supplement, same commitment, but his symptoms continued when we changed the form of B12 he was using. Rather than simply increasing the amount, things began to improve. And this is where many people make another mistake. They think more is always better. But with vitamins, especially as we age, the question is not always how much am I taking. The better question is, can my body actually use what I am taking? Because if your body cannot properly absorb a nutrient, increasing the dose may not solve the real problem. Now let's talk about another mistake that surprises many seniors. The type of vitamin B12 you choose matters. You walk into a store and look at B12 supplements, you will often see different names on the label. Many people simply choose the cheapest option or the one with the highest number on the bottle. But different forms of B12 are handled differently by the body. One common form is cyanocobalamin. It is popular because it is inexpensive and stable. But your body has to convert it into an active form before it can be fully used. For some older adults, that conversion process may not work as efficiently as it once did. Another form is methylcobalamin, which is already closer to the active form your body can use. For some seniors, choosing the right form may make a significant difference in how their body responds. I saw this with a patient named Robert, who was 72 years old. He had been taking B12 for years, but he still had numbness in his fingers and trouble with his balance. His tests did not show an obvious problem, yet he could feel that something was not right. After changing the form of B12 he was taking, he began noticing changes. His experience teaches an important lesson. Sometimes the solution is not taking more. Sometimes the solution is taking it differently. But there is still another mistake that many people make, and this one has nothing to do with the supplement bottle sitting in your cabinet. It has to do with consistency. Many people treat vitamin B12 like a quick energy boost. They take it only when they feel tired. They skip days. They stop when they feel slightly better. Then they start again when symptoms return, but your nerves do not repair themselves that way. Your nervous system works slowly. If B12 is helping support nerve health, your body needs steady access over time. Think about rebuilding anything damaged. You would never repair a broken bridge by working on it once every few weeks and expecting it to become strong overnight. Your nerves require patience. They require consistency, and this is where many people become disappointed because they expect immediate results. They take B12 for a few days and think it is not working. But the body does not always work on a short timeline. Some changes take weeks or even months. This is why patience becomes one of the most important parts of the process. I had a patient named Elaine who only took B12 on the days when she felt exhausted. She believed she was listening to her body, But what she did not realize was that she was never giving her body a consistent opportunity to benefit. Once she changed her routine and began taking it consistently, she noticed that her symptoms stopped getting worse. And that was the first sign that something was changing, because sometimes progress is not dramatic at first. Sometimes progress is simply that something stops declining, but there is one more mistake that many seniors make, and it may be affecting you without you realizing it. It involves something as simple as the time of day you take your B12. Many people take it whenever they remember, but because B12 can support energy and alertness, taking it too late in the day may not be ideal for everyone. For some people, taking B12 late at night can interfere with sleep. And poor sleep creates another problem, because sleep is when your body performs many important repair processes. So a simple mistake in timing could create a cycle where your energy does not improve because your sleep quality is suffering. And this is only the beginning, because the biggest mistake many seniors make with vitamin B12 is not one single action. It is a combination of small mistakes that slowly reduce the benefit they receive the wrong form. The wrong delivery method, the wrong timing, the wrong expectations. And once these mistakes add up, someone can spend years believing that B12 simply does not work for them. But the truth may be completely different. They may not have been using it in the way their body needed. And in the next part, we are going to uncover the correct approach many seniors overlook, including the best ways to take B12, why some people benefit from different delivery methods, and the hidden factors that can block B12 from supporting your brain and nerves, even when you are doing everything else right. The biggest mistakes many seniors make with vitamin B12 is assuming that because they are taking it, their body is automatically receiving the benefits. But as we discovered, the journey from the bottle to your brain and nerves is not always that simple. Your body has to recognize it, absorb it, transport it, and then use it inside your cells. If even one step in that process is not working properly, you may continue taking B12 every day while your symptoms quietly continue. And this is where many people become frustrated, because they think the solution is simply increasing the dose. They think if one pill is not working, maybe I need two. If two do not work, maybe I need a stronger supplement. But the real question is not always about quantity. The real question is whether your body can actually use what you are giving it. This is why the second half of your B12 routine matters so much. One of the most overlooked factors is the way you take vitamin B12. Many seniors rely only on traditional swallowed tablets. There's nothing wrong with tablets for everyone, but for older adults who have reduced stomach acid or absorption challenges, this method may not always provide the results they expect. This is why many doctors and nutrition experts often discuss sublingual B12, which means placing the supplement under your tongue and allowing it to dissolve. The reason this method is interesting is because it can reduce dependence on some of the digestive processes that may become less efficient with age. For someone over 60, this small change could make a major difference. Imagine spending years taking a supplement every morning, believing you are supporting your health, but your body is only receiving a fraction of what you intended. Then one day you change the delivery method, and suddenly your body has a better opportunity to use that nutrient. This is exactly why understanding your body becomes more important as you age, because aging does not mean your body stops responding. It means you have to become more strategic. Now, let us talk about dosage, because this is another area where many seniors become confused. Some people are afraid of taking higher amounts of vitamin B12 because they think more must automatically mean dangerous. But vitamin B12 is different from many other substances because it is a water-soluble vitamin. Your body uses what it needs, and excess amounts are generally removed through normal processes. However, the goal is not to take the highest amount possible. The goal is to provide enough support to overcome the challenges that often appear with aging. Many older adults may need higher amounts compared with young people because their absorption is not as efficient as it once was. This is why some seniors may benefit from doses commonly used for older adults, especially when trying to support nerve health. But remember, the number on the bottle is not the only thing that matters. A smaller amount that your body absorbs well can sometimes be more valuable than a much larger amount that your body cannot properly use. This is why the form and delivery method come first. Now, there is another important piece that many people overlook. Vitamin B12 does not work alone. Your body is not a collection of separate systems working independently. Everything is connected. Your nerves, your brain, your energy levels, your blood cells, and your metabolism all depend on a network of nutrients and lifestyle factors working together. This means that if you are trying to support nerve health, you cannot focus only on B12 while ignoring everything else. For example, hydration plays a bigger role than many seniors realize. Many older adults naturally drink less water as they age. They may not feel as thirsty, or they may intentionally reduce fluids because they do not want to wake up during the night. But even mild dehydration can affect how nutrients move throughout the body. Your cells need the right environment to function properly, and your nerves are especially sensitive because they require constant support. Another factor that can influence B12 effectiveness is blood sugar control. Many seniors struggle with elevated blood sugar or diabetes, and high blood sugar can directly affect nerve health. This is why some people continue experiencing numbness, tingling, or burning sensations even after improving their B12 intake. The problem may not be that B12 is failing. The problem may be that another issue is damaging the nerves at the same time. Think of it like trying to repair a road while heavy traffic continues damaging it every day. You can add more repair materials, but if the damage continues, the improvement will be limited. This is why a complete approach matters. Support B12 levels, support your B12 levels, but also support the environment where your nerves live. Improve sleep. Stay active. Manage blood sugar, reduce unnecessary inflammation, because these things determine whether your body can truly benefit from the nutrients you provide. Now, there is another hidden problem that many seniors never consider. Certain medications can interfere with vitamin B12 levels. This does not mean you should stop taking your medications. Never make changes without speaking with your healthcare provider. But it does mean you should understand how your medications may affect your nutritional needs. Some medications commonly used by older adults can influence B12 absorption over time. This is why someone who has taken certain medications for years may need closer attention to their B12 status. The important lesson is this. Do not simply ask, am I taking B12? Ask, is my body getting what it needs from B12? That is a completely different question. Now, let us talk about one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding B12. Many people believe that B12 injections are always better than supplements. And it is easy to understand why people think this. An injection feels more powerful. It feels like a direct solution. But the reality is more complicated. For people with severe deficiency or certain medical conditions, injections can be very helpful. They can provide a reliable way to deliver B12 when absorption is a major problem. But injections are not automatically necessary for everyone. Many seniors can benefit from properly chosen oral or sublingual forms when used correctly. The key is matching the method to the person, because there is no single solution that works exactly the same way for everyone. Your age, digestion, medications, health conditions, and symptoms all matter. This is why copying someone else's routine is not always the best approach. A friend may tell you, I take this exact B12 supplement and it changed my life. That is wonderful for them. But your body has its own story. Your body has its own needs. And understanding that difference can prevent years of frustration. Now, I want to share something important about symptoms. Many seniors wait until their symptoms become severe before paying attention. They ignore small warning signs, a little tingling in the fingers, a little difficulty remembering names, a little more actually really, really powerful, a little more tiredness than usual, a little more difficulty with balance. They tell themselves that is just aging. But sometimes your body is trying to communicate with you long before a serious problem develops. The goal is not to panic. The goal is to pay attention because early action gives you more options. And this brings us to a question many people ask, how do I know if my B12 routine is actually working? The answer is not only found in a laboratory number, pay attention to real life changes. Are you feeling steadier when you walk? Are you thinking more clearly? Are your hands and feet feeling different? Is your daily energy improving? These everyday signs often tell an important story. I remember one that's actually really, really powerful. I remember a 75-year-old patient who followed a more complete approach. Her blood test numbers did not suddenly become dramatically different, but something more important happened. She stopped falling. She felt more confident walking. She felt like she had control over her body again. And that is the result many people are truly looking for, not just a number on paper, but a better quality of life. However, there is one final truth that every senior needs to understand before changing their B12 routine. Vitamin B12 can be extremely important, but it is not a miracle cure for every problem. If someone has years of nerve compression, spinal issues, uncontrolled diabetes, or another underlying condition, B12 alone may not solve everything. Sometimes the symptom is real, but the cause is different. And this is where many people make a dangerous mistake. They keep adding more supplements without finding the real reason behind their symptoms. More is not always the answer. Understanding is the answer. And in the final part, we will bring everything together into a simple B12 action plan for seniors, including the mistakes you must avoid, the habits that can help your body use B12 more effectively, and the warning signs that mean you should look deeper instead of simply taking more supplements.